Hey, Vosnasenka, welcome to week 8 for Language Arts, quarter 3, and your final week of content for quarter 3. That means that you have a notebook this week, and you have videos this week, and then next week you will have a video going over the final assessment, and then you will have a few weeks to complete the final assessment. See, means how the end of the quarter is not next week, but the week after. And so you will just have one more notebook and then one more big assessment, and that is it. Those are all of your assignments left for the quarter. So let's get into the week. Today you are going to watch this video and read Marie Curie and start the summary on that. Tomorrow you're going to finish your summary, and you will also read the article Marie Curie Facts and answer the discussion questions. Wednesday, you will watch the second video for the week and begin planning your paragraph. Thursday, you will finish writing your paragraph. And Friday, you will work on iReady and submit your notebook and work on any missing assignments. This is the final week of content. Start assessments next week, like I said. So if you do not already have your week 8 notebook open, go ahead and pause the video now and get it open. All right, week 8 notebook looks like this. On the cover page, you have the text to Marie Curie, You Glow Girl, and the audio there as well. We will be working on this together today, summary notes to summary. Then you have a discussion question. As I said, you'll read this article and answer these questions tomorrow. On Wednesday, we will work on this paragraph plan together. Thursday, you will write your paragraph. And Friday, you will work on any missing assignments and iReady. That is your notebook for the week. So let's begin working on it. Go ahead and turn to this page, summary notes. All right, you need to now read Marie Curie, You Glow Girl. So pause the video and do that now. Okay, now that you've read Marie Curie, You Glow Girl, we will start working on this summary together. This is the second page in your notebook right here. And the goal has always been of these summary notes is to be able to do an accurate summary. So your summary should include all of the absolute most important information from an article or a text without any of the extra details. We're like removing all the interesting things, all the extra details, and just focused on just the specific facts. That is why we focus on these questions: what, who, where, when, why, and how. And to kind of make sure that we limit our focus onto the most important information only. And then whatever you put on these summary notes should be information that is from the text, in the text, not things from your memory. It should be directly from the text. If it's not from the text, don't put it here. And then your summary should be a combination of everything that's in your summary notes in complete sentences. And you should be able to copy and paste this and then add details, you know, like connection words and things like that in the summary. So let's go ahead and begin. Marie Curie, You Glow Girl is, as all of the other texts from Georgia Bragg's How They Croaked is, about how Marie Curie died. What is it about? How Marie Curie died. Who is it about? Marie Curie. Now, as we still have some of you that are struggling doing this, you can't just write who it's about. You have to say who they are. Like, who are they? What does the text tell us about this person? So Marie Curie is a scientist who won the Nobel Prize twice for her discovery of radium, an element, scientific element. She discovered it. And it's used to cure cancer, or remove cancer. I should say to kill cancer, because it doesn't really cure it. It just kills cancer cells. Okay. So this is who she is. Where all this takes place is in France, in Melbourne, France, to be more specific. Okay. when this takes place. Just with the who, we can't just put a date. You cannot just put a date here and call it good. So this takes place not just the day she died, but really her whole life, because the story really talks about her work in science and the radium, and how that's what eventually killed her, right? So really the story encompasses most of her life. So we're going to put her whole life here. It's fine to just put the year. Okay. But we also need to know, what does the text tell us about this time of history? Okay. So in this time of history, science was a male-dominated field. That means that there were no, pretty much zero female scientists. Zero. Okay. Oh, sorry, I spelled, it's not Melbourne, France, it's Sorbonne, France. They sound similar. Oops, okay. So, we know that it's a male-dominated field in this time in history. And we also know that we don't know a lot about toxic chemicals, right? We don't know anything. Because we know that toxic chemicals in this story killed herself, essentially led to her husband's death, and killed a bunch of her helpers, her lab assistants is why. Okay, so why does she die? She dies basically from radium exposure. Radium exposure in the form of aplastic anemia. I know that's weird. Word, I don't know how to say it. Okay. And how did all this happen? Well, she discovered radium and that it glows. So she worked with it for years without any protective equipment until it eventually killed her. It's interesting to me that she knew that radium could kill cancer cells, but she doesn't realize that it's also going to kill cells in her own body. Silly, silly, silly. Okay. There are other details here that you could add, like that she discovered radium and she was obsessed with work. She didn't do really anything but work for years of her life. You could talk about how she was sick for a long time. There's kind of a lot of different elements of this that you could add, but you don't want to have less information than this. You could have a little bit more, but not less, okay? That's something that we really need to hone in on summaries, especially as we come to the assessment next week, is that we have to have enough information. We have to have the important details. So you can't just say what Marie Curie's dead, Marie Curie, France, 1934, radium, worked with radium. Because if that's all you wrote, and then you put that into complete thoughts, that wouldn't sound like a summary. It wouldn't tell us enough information about the story. All right, so pause the video now and make sure you have your summary notes complete. Okay, now that you have your summary notes done, we're going to transition into now turning that into a complete summary. And as I've told you before, if you've done the summary notes correct, you should be able to just kind of copy and paste the information here and then turn it into complete thoughts. Whenever you copy and paste, make sure that you pay attention to the format, that it's all the same. So first thing I do is I'm going to get rid of the bullet points because I want to turn this into complete thoughts. Okay. Second, I'm going to introduce the text because this is from a story. We're summarizing a story. We're not just saying things we know from our own brain, so we need to say where this information came from. So in Marie Curie, You Glow Girl by Georgia Bragg. Actually, I'm just going to start with Marie Curie, You Glow Girl by Georgia Bragg is about how Marie Curie died. Period. Marie Curie was a female scientist in 1876 to 1934. Okay, so we're getting rid of this. Oops, sorry about that. Female scientist in 1876 to 1934 was a female. I put that in the wrong spot. That's why I was confused. A female scientist in, there we go, who won in Sorbonne, France, who won the Nobel Prize for her discovery of radium and its use to kill cancer. Period. She worked in science, which was a male-dominated field, and science didn't know much about toxic chemicals at the time. So she died from radium exposure in the form of aplastic anemone, period. She discovered radium and that it glows, so she worked with it for years without any protective equipment until it eventually killed her, period. See, it's the same information, just kind of combining things into complete thoughts. Now, obviously, if you have different details in your notes than mine, then it will be a little bit different, and that's fine. This is the minimum information that you need in a summary. The minimum information is to be able to answer those 6 questions. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. And you can't just like write Marie Curie. You need to tell me who Marie Curie is, what she was about, why was it important. All right. So if you have not already done so, make sure that you have done your notes. If you need to finish your summary tomorrow, that's fine. Just a reminder that you need to also read the article Marie Curie Facts and work on those discussion questions before Wednesday. And then your video on Wednesday will go over the paragraph, argumentative paragraph. And that will be it for the week. All right, see you later.